Make a little noise.
Hello, hello, hello.
You missed it. You missed. I had to come out here without you and do a little warm-up for the audience. And it turns out that woman there has quite the crush on me.
Oh, does she? Yeah.
I think we have. This is exciting. Mm-hmm. This is an exciting show. There's too much talking. Who's talking? This is a very exciting show. I want you all to pay attention. This is exciting for the following reason. Do you know that right now we are exactly 1 week away from the 1-year anniversary of taking 2 weeks to flatten the curve?
That's right. It's been a long 2 weeks. It's been a long 2 weeks.
We almost have a flat curve.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a long, hard year.
It has.
Yeah,
Yes.
not for everybody. For us, it's been very hard.
Right. If you're Jeff Bezos from Amazon, you're doing, racking
Jeff
up.
Bezos' favorite year, 2020.
Yeah.
And I'm a little tired of seeing people in masks, right?
Yeah.
Like, let me tell you, I have seen people in masks. When Vicky takes her mask off, something starts happening in my head. I'm like, oh, Ready Player One, here we go.
It's your new lingerie.
Huh?
It's your new lingerie.
It's the new lingerie. When you take the mask off, it's sexy stuff, right or wrong, sir? That woman's got her mask on at the table.
Yeah.
Later on, when she takes that off, he's going to be all worked up.
Yeah, Chuck's going to be like, hello, Corliss.
Come on over here with your... Some people have a hole in the mask. It's like a crotchless mask.
Yeah. That's dirty.
It's very dirty.
Dirty.
We had a hell of a year because first of all, we built the tent.
Yes, we built a tent.
Which is amazing.
Yes.
Right.
We built a tent to keep going.
The tent was miserable during a snowstorm.
Yeah, you guys all had to camp out while I was home with the fireplace. But they had to camp out here and not sleep at all and get on 17-foot ladders to shovel the roof.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't know. We weren't shoveling. We were raking.
Whatever. I was home.
Yeah, you were sleeping. Every time the governor said, oh, we're almost there, and I'm like, okay, why don't you come here and get up on the ladder and sweep some stuff off, right?
Right.
Yeah, especially now that we're almost through the winter and we're happy.
Yeah.
But it has been one of those years where we had to lay off a bunch of people.
We did. We had to lay off a bunch of people, and I don't know if a lot of you might not know this, but we own a restaurant also in Connecticut. And
I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you. Show me what you have, sir. He's got a mask with a hole in it.
Oh, you dirty, dirty man, you! You are dirty.
I'm telling you right now, that girl is a player. she's got the big hoop earring.
Oh, it's her mask.
Yeah.
It's her mask.
I told you, the crotchless mask. It's the new thing.
Yeah.
Good for you, sir. I thought earlier I had ruined your night, but it looks like you're in for a good night anyway. So you were saying now.
Yeah, so we opened a restaurant, and the furniture was delivered March 19th. So, bad timing on our part.
Yeah, we actually opened a restaurant in Connecticut on March 19th. Our furniture got delivered.
Yeah.
And the delivery guy said, take it off the truck yourself. I'm not allowed to touch it because of COVID-19.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is the worst furniture delivery ever. And then we went through the tent and being unemployed. Mm-hmm. And because of that, we've had to jump in a million different ways, right?
Right. We have had to jump in, and our managers have had to jump in. And this past Friday, I did something that in the whole history of the Stress Factory I've never had to do.
Friday.
I said Friday.
Oh, I thought you said Sunday.
No, today's Sunday. Today's Sunday.
My mind is spinning because of the crotchless mask lady.
So I had to work the fryer all night Friday night. So, and when you own a restaurant, I don't know, you just hire people to do certain jobs that they're proficient at. And I've had to jump in before, but never a whole shift. And
never on a fryer.
No, we were sold out shows, both clubs.
Thank God.
Yeah, it was.
Both clubs were sold out, and our cooks were going to a wedding, right?
Right, our cooks were going to a wedding, and so another restaurant had said, hey, listen, we'll lend you our cooks, except then they got a ton of reservations, and bravo for them, and they called us at 4:30 and said, our cooks aren't coming. So when you're a restaurant and you have no food, that doesn't bode very well. So my mom's like, oh, just order meatballs. I'm like, where the hell am I going to get all those meatballs for all those people at 4:30 on a Friday, Ma?
But here's the part that made me happy. All right, and this
Yeah.
is what you don't know. So our other places in Connecticut, and throughout the couple years that we've had it, I have learned that the drive to Connecticut is miserable. Okay, it's 100 miles. It could take 100 minutes, or it could take 2 weeks. It's like nothing you've ever seen. I want to open a driving school in Connecticut because I will be a millionaire overnight. And Vicky has promised to come with me to Connecticut no fewer than 30 times. And she'll be like, I'm going with you Tuesday. I'm going to go up. And on Monday, she'll pack her bag. And then Monday night, I'll start hearing her slip little things into the conversation that lets me know she's going to screw me and make me go alone again. So she'll be like, oh, well, tomorrow I hope I have a sitter. And I'm like, you have a sitter? Well, Cassie needs, and she slips it. And then Tuesday will come, and she'll go, I have an idea. You just go to Connecticut, and I'll stay home. And that has happened at least 30 or 40 times.
Probably closer to 40. Probably closer, if I'm being honest. Probably 40. But you know what? New Brunswick's only 30 minutes from our house, door to door. So
Yeah.
it works much better in my schedule.
And then I'll call her from bumper to bumper traffic on 95, and she'll be like, I'm watching a TV show right now before I go to work. I'll call you back. So not only does she not go, I sit in misery, and she watches TV. She goes out with the girls. Now, Friday, she's supposed to go to Connecticut with me. And right around 11 in the morning, she starts, well, it's going to be a late night, maybe tomorrow. And she begs out. And I say to her, listen, if you don't want to go to Connecticut, I'll do it by myself. It's no big deal. But you made me late. The traffic's going to be awful. I go, I really could use someone to drive with me. And she goes, no, you're right. Maybe I'll just stay here. And she screws me again. Time 41. So I get in the car, and I'm pissed off because I know it's going to be a bad drive, and I'm going to have to drive both ways by myself. And I'm about a half hour away, and the phone rings, and I get the news that there are no cooks. And now someone else has to work the fryer.
Right. So, Crystal, can you put that picture up?
This is the picture.
So this is us. This is our general manager who's in the kitchen tonight. Doug, who, God bless him, he's just a friend of the club.
Yeah.
Myself.
The guy in the white coat is a cook.
Yeah.
Because he's a customer and a friend. And
Yeah.
he goes, I'll help you. There's Derek. There's Patty in the foreground there with the colored mask. There's Vicky in the back working for what might be the first time since 1994.
Right. So now Vinny's calling us from Connecticut, but we can't answer because we have sold out shows.
No, wait. Don't show a picture. Now,
Yeah.
now the drive to Connecticut was a breeze. No traffic. I got there early. I hit nothing. I did 95 miles an hour the entire way, with the exception of running a nun off the road. It was smooth. And I got to Connecticut with enough time to do this. Show him, Crystal.
He sat and watched Police Academy. I totally screwed myself. I should have taken the ride to Connecticut.
I got to watch the entire movie Police Academy. They served me food and drinks. The night went smooth and easy. I was home before Vicky had the fryer degreased.
Yep, moral of the story. I'm driving to Connecticut next time. I'm taking the ride. I'm taking the ride. No, but really, I mean, right now, Derek and Doug are in the back right now cooking for you. So.
Derek and Doug are in the back cooking again.
Yeah.
Now, I cooked last night.
You cooked last night.
And I tell you right now, the customers told me I was a better cook than you.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay, I told myself I was a better cook than you. Here's the thing. I know you're going to screw me again. I'm going to Connecticut. All right?
Probably.
But it doesn't even matter because we also, this year, we have done nothing. Like over the summer, we went to the beach twice.
That's right. Mhm.
And then during the snowstorm, you slept and I swept the tent.
Right.
And then finally, we got to do a little relaxing.
Right. So, we have gone skiing a couple times with our kids, and we took the kids tubing. That was our big outing. We were going to take the kids tubing. So we go to this mountain to tube. And so, Vinny and I grew up, he grew up in the 70s. I grew up in the 80s.
All right, take it easy.
But, so some of our parenting styles probably don't mesh with some of the younger parents. And, we have an 8-year-old. So we're at this mountain tubing.
Can I just say one thing?
Yeah.
This is what she means. We went tubing, and I grew up, the parents didn't even go with you. You just grabbed your sled, and you disappeared for a day. There were friends of mine never made it home, and the parents like, yeah, I don't know where John went. We get to the mountain. I'm looking at parents, young parents. Okay, how old are you? Okay, you're not young. I'm looking at young parents with their kids sleigh riding with helmets. Helmets? Mm-hmm. You don't wear a helmet when you, listen to me. The kid that needs a helmet is a kid that doesn't belong in the gene pool. You don't put a helmet on a kid. If a kid crashes into a tree and takes himself out, that's natural selection, that's Darwin theory in play.
So I'm at the mountain before Vinny. So I'm there with my 8-year-old. So Vinny and our 17-year-old show up. Crystal, can you show the picture? I don't know if you can see the Pam spray in the picture. That's what they showed up with, and we're spraying all the sleds. So go ahead. This is what.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, this is what our experience was like, Crystal.
Yeah, but wait, don't play yet. If you don't know how to use Pam spray, you young kids, you know what to do with Pam spray? Okay, it makes the mountain. No, sir, you don't do this with Pam spray. Holy Lord, what does that even mean? Looks like he's doing something filthy.
Yeah.
It's been a long pandemic for that kid. Listen. Yeah. No, you take the Pam spray and you squirt the sled, and you get an extra 8, 9, 10 miles an hour, okay, out of the sled. All right? You get a properly Pammed up sled. You can take people out. They don't have time to move. When we were kids, right? That's what we did. We used to build triple deckers.
Yeah.
Like my father would lay down, and then I would lay on top of my father, and my brother would lay on top on me. Properly Pammed up sled. One time we broke 4 of my father's ribs. It was a great day. Now this is what now Vicky's like, what's the Pam spray for? I'm like, just relax.
I was totally against it.
Yeah, Vicky was like, we need helmets. I'm like, no, we don't. We need tougher children. This is what it looked like after we Pam sprayed it.
That's actual footage of Vinny. Yeah. Yeah, so that's what our experience was like.
Now, we Pam sprayed the sled.
Right.
And I raced Tabby and Cassie.
Right.
I'm not making this up. I hit what can only be described as a mogul.
Yeah.
And I'm not kidding you. I broke a vertebrae in my back. I didn't go to the doctor because that's how we grew up. But I still have a sore back from that injury, right?
Yeah.
And you were happy. Vicky said, I hope you learned your lesson. I'm like, I have a broken back. It was fun though, right?
No, it is. Well, you know what it is whenever we go skiing or doing anything, Vinny always takes it to the next level, like always. And so I had said to him this year, like, listen, Vin, this year you can't, because you can't get hurt this year. A couple years ago we had gone skiing.
Tell him what you said. She said, you're getting old. I'm like, no, I'm not. Don't talk like that.
No. So I had said, a couple years ago we were skiing, and I said, hey, Vin, Vinny's that guy that never knows when to quit. Like, we're the last people at parties. Our kids are breaking shit. People are looking at us like, when are they leaving? Like, I can't get him to leave ever, anywhere. And
you're lucky, because that's what's keeping this marriage together.
Yeah. So anyway, we go skiing, and we've had a great trip, and I said, Vin, come on, call it a day. And he, I'm going to take another run. So he takes another run. Go ahead.
All right. So first of all, I took one more run. We were at Copper Mountain in Colorado, and we're with my buddy, and he's skiing down a green hill. It's a little sissy hill, and I went up into the trees to add some excitement. And I added a little too much excitement. I came out of the trees, and I dropped off a cliff that I didn't know was there.
It was a green, Vinny. It was a green. You did it on a green.
It was a cliff.
On a green. Anyone that's ever skied, greens are the beginners. Go ahead, hon.
I dropped off a cliff that had no business being on a green hill, and I launched forward. Mm-hmm. The people that saw me in the air,
How many feet?
I would say I was about, it was me to that fella there, about 20 feet in the air.
Sure. Suddenly you're Lindsey Vonn.
I had enough time to make a phone call. And when I landed, I tore my left arm out, and I ripped the rotator cuff, I ripped the bicep off. My whole left arm was hanging in a useless fashion. Now, luckily for me, 5 feet the other direction was an emergency phone that was broken. Now, here's what happened. I'm not making this up. Can you hold this, Vicky?
Yeah.
So, listen, I'm going to just get a little comfortable. So, about a year before that, Chris Rock was here, and he did 18 shows at the club. And he warmed up, and he wrote an HBO special here at the club. Now, some guy wrote a book about that. And in that book, they mention the club and my name. They don't mention Vicky, because Vicky doesn't work a lot at night. That's me. Now, I am on the side of the mountain, and I am in a lot of pain. I can't really stand up. My arm's pretty worthless, so I'm kind of standing like this, and some guy, oh no, the guy woke me up. I was on the ground, he woke me up, and I got up. And he's going, dude, that was an amazing fall. And he goes, are you okay? And I go, I don't think I'm okay. And I'm just kind of hanging there, and he's afraid I'm going to go into shock. So he starts talking to me to keep me awake, all right? And we're talking, and he's like, where are you from? And I go, I'm from New Jersey. He goes, that's great. What do you do? Now, I'm on there. I just want to throw up. I don't want to talk to him. And I go, I own a comedy club in New Jersey. And he goes, which club? And in my head, I'm like, okay, would you just please go away? I'd rather just die by myself on this mountain. I don't want to have to entertain you. And I go, it's the Stress Factory Comedy Club. You never heard of it. He goes, oh, man. He goes, I just read a book, and Chris Rock warmed up his special at that club. I go, you're kidding me. I go, I'm Vinnie. I'm the owner. And the guy goes like this. Don't let that spill. He goes, you're Vinnie Brand? Let me tell you something, okay? I don't know if you've ever had your arm that is already disconnected smashed, but it hurt like a son of a bitch. So I look up and I go, yes, I'm Vinnie Brand. Please don't do that again. Now, it takes about, 45 minutes for a ski patrol to come, and it's a woman, and she's by herself, and she puts me in the little sled, okay? Now, here's what the problem is with getting put into a little sled on a green hill. There are 6-year-old kids stopping by and going, what's wrong with him? Okay, now, I gotta tell you something. You should never say, screw off, you little screw. So she puts me in the sled, and she goes, all right, now listen, Vinny, I'm gonna take you down the hill, and I need you to keep talking to me because I can't have you go into shock on the hill. So I'm in the sled, and she's hitting every bump, and every bump feels like agony. And I'm saying, could you please get out of the mogul field? And she's going, no, I'm fine. So I decide to stop talking. Now the sled stops, and I think we're at the bottom. And I just got my eyes closed, and all of a sudden, I feel her. She smacks me. I swear to God, she smacked me. I'm like, what are you doing? Because I need you to keep talking. I'm like, who hit the man? Now, am I making it? I get to the bottom. At the bottom of the hill is an 18-foot box truck from Ryder. And that was my ambulance. They put me in the back. Now my friend has called her, okay? She calls me. I'm on my phone with my good hand. And instead of her saying, oh, my God, are you okay? This is what I'm hearing. I told you to call it a day. I'm like, okay. Could you just come say goodbye to me and make sure the will is in order? Now, we get into the little hospital.
Yeah.
And there's a guy between the curtain, and he's moaning like a big baby. And I'm in a lot of pain. I'm toughing it out. They can't give me pain pills yet. And I say to the doctor, will you shut that guy up? And he goes, well, that guy broke his lower leg, and the bone is sticking through the boot. And then I hear, and they're cutting the boot off, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna be quiet. Now she comes in, go ahead, tell them how they undid me.
So they come in and they whisper to me, they're like, this is gonna hurt. And I said, what are you gonna do to him? And they're like, we have a bed sheet. We're going to wrap it around. We're each going to, like, they wrapped it around each side. And then on the count of 3, we pull. I'm like, this is modern medicine? You just pull a bed sheet to pop it back into place? And they're like, yep, that's exactly what we're going to do. But it's really, really going to hurt. So go ahead, hon.
So they pull a sheet on my chest, and the other doctor grabs the arm that is damaged, and they pulled me apart like a wishbone, and it popped back in. And I gotta be honest with you, sir, it felt great going back in. Better than your crotchless mask is gonna feel later. It was amazing. But that was our last ski trip before that's the last trip where I took the last run.
Yes, yes. And now we no longer take last runs. No longer. We just end the day. As soon as we've had a good day, we just end it there.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you one last little part of the story. I went to Maxwell Abramson to get repaired right here in New Brunswick. He's a prominent surgeon, and I'm deaf, and I'm talking to him, and I said, what, 3 times? And when I said what the 3rd time, this is what the surgeon said to me. It's the first thing he said, really, that was directly to me. Everything else was about my injury to a nurse. And I said, hey, can you tell me what you're saying? And I said, what 3 times? Or what you're saying? I said, what 3 times? And he goes, well, if you'd fucking listen. That's the guy who put me back together. That's our ski story.
That's right. That's it.
Yeah. Now we have a great show tonight.
We do. We have a really
you guys
great
ready
show.
to have a great time tonight? We have such a good show.
Yeah, so much fun.